Hey guys, it's Chelsa Messenger with Picks and Parlays. We're talking NBA because it's March and there's more than just March Madness going on and plenty of ways to make money. It's almost the Sweet 16 in March Madness and we've got a promo code. Guess what it is? It's SWEET for 20% off the entire site at picksandparlays.net. We've got Kurt Alexander joining us to talk some NBA action. Kurt, we're breaking down Sixers Warriors. Early lines have the Sixers favored on the road, -4.5, total of 222.5. And the news that we're waiting for is if Steph Curry is going to play for the Warriors, because obviously he's a big part of that squad. Other injuries notable, we've got Joel Embiid out indefinitely for the Sixers, and also Seth Curry, the other Curry brother, questionable for the Sixers. So waiting to hear on those injuries. But in the meantime, let's talk about this game and just about these two teams in general. Anything that stands out to you?
Yes, I think the Philadelphia 76ers are just the better team here, whether Steph plays or not. Philadelphia is rolling. And I don't know if you remember in years past, Philadelphia couldn't win on the road. That's not the case this year. It doesn't matter if they're on the road, if they're at home, they're beating teams. They're putting up 130 easily on the bad teams and the good ones. They actually put up 131 against Utah in a game that they came back and beat the Jazz, took them to overtime and beat the Jazz. And even yesterday in the game against the Knicks, you saw this very tight, low-scoring game. But this Philadelphia 76ers team, they have scorers and they have role players and they have team leaders that are basically willing this team to win, even with Joel Embiid out. So they're only gonna get better. When you look at this Warrior team, on the other hand, they're 17-26 against the spread, 22-21 overall record. And right now the Warriors are they're trying to figure things out, because you have Klay Thompson, who's going to be out for the season. Steph Curry, we're still waiting to see if he's going to be back for this game, because he's missed the last two games. And now you have players that have been stepping up. Andrew Wiggins put up 40 the first game Curry was out, and that's a nice surprise to see. Green is also a nice young player for the Golden State Warriors, but the Warriors, they just don't have enough to compete with this Philadelphia 76ers team. If I had to lay the points here with Philadelphia, I would have no problem laying the 4.5. I think they're just the better team. They're the deeper team, and this is just my play. It'll be the Philadelphia 76ers -4.5.
Yeah, I think you exactly nailed it on the head. It's the depth that is the issue, I think, for the Warriors. I just don't think they have the depth, especially compared to Philly, which Tobias Harris has been playing really well this season. I know people always think of Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons as being, the totem or the key pieces of the Sixers, but Tobias Harris has done really well in Embiid's absence, and even when he was there. So I think it boils down to depth and who has the better roster. And on paper, it looks like the Sixers. Looking at a total of 222.5, and as we noticed, it's an advanced line, so it definitely could move. But let's talk about this a little bit. Do you have any leanings on a total?
Yeah, if I had to lean on a total, I would definitely take it under. Remember the first half of the season before the All-Star break? It was like NBA games. Nobody's playing any defense. The totals were up in the 230s. And I've lived out here long enough to know that Vegas will correct itself and things will, I guess, kind of even out. And in the second half of the season, now you're starting to see a lot more unders, but you're still getting these high totals, the 220s and the 230s. I think the Brooklyn game was at 247 yesterday. Golden State's just not that team. They're not a high scoring team. They're not going to be. Philly could put up the points, but Golden State's not going to be able to keep up with this Philly team, especially without Curry. Like I said, 222 is just a very high number, in my opinion, to put up for these two teams right now, because Golden State's, they don't have the offense. Steph Curry might not play. And if he does, like he's coming like straight off an injury. I don't know if you saw what happened, but he kind of fell on his butt on the stand. So it's a lower back injury. Yeah,
tailbone.
It was a tailbone. There we go. Yes, that's what it was. It was his tailbone. Yeah. So it was like a pretty bad injury. And I really don't expect him to play tomorrow. They say he's a game time decision, but I don't expect him to play. And that's why I would take this game under the 222.
Well, and if he does play, I'm sure that number will probably move.
It'll probably tick up a little bit to kind of, because it's Golden State. We still think of Golden State from years past where, it was
Right.
just run and gun. But yeah, it's not the same team. Like I said, you have different pieces that they're still trying to incorporate into the offense. You have young players that like Poole that they're still trying to figure out, their minutes and things like that. So yeah, this Golden State team is a work in progress, I would say. Wiseman, they're still trying to get him into the offense as well. So it's not the high scoring team that we're used to in years past.
Right. And Wiseman, I think he's still questionable because of the COVID stuff, because he keeps forgetting to take tests or something crazy like that, I believe. But that is
Yes.
neither here nor there. That's going to wrap it up for our NBA talk here on Picks and Parlays. Great stuff from Kurt Alexander. As always, Kurt, thanks for joining us.